Coming up on LUTV News, Blues fans hit with not one, but two losses on Tuesday night. We have details on the action fans missed coming up. Plus, two more inmates escaped from a downtown juvenile center. We have details on the escape. And family and friends gathered Tuesday night to remember teens lost in a crash. Those stories and more ahead on LUTV News. Welcome to this edition of LUTV News. I'm Christopher Rogers. A bizarre pickup truck crash happened early Wednesday morning in North St. Louis when the driver accidentally drove onto train tracks. Fire crews say the incident happened a little after 1 Wednesday morning along East Grand, north of I-70 in North City. Officials say the driver made it about a block on the tracks before attempting to turn around, and that's when his truck fell off the 12-foot tall bridge. The fall left the truck completely vertical and the driver pinned to the wheel. Paramedics say the man was conscious and alert while being treated. It's unclear why the man drove on the tracks in the first place. Police are searching for two teens who escaped from the St. Louis Juvenile Detention Center Tuesday night. Authorities say one escapee is a first-degree murder suspect. Officials have not released information on the other escapee. There have been multiple escapes from this center. The detention center is located on Vanderveer and Enright. Officials are investigating how inmates are finding ways out of the building. Blues fans suffered two losses on Tuesday night, one on the ice and the other off the ice. Police say dozens of vehicles were broken into and vandalized while fans attended the Blues and Coyotes game at Enterprise Center. Authorities say the targeted cars were parked in the Greyhound bus and Union Station lots across from the arena. This is the second set of break-ins during Blues games in the past week. Police believe the thieves are searching for guns. The St. Louis City Council did meet on Tuesday to discuss three new bills in response to the recent rise in break-ins. The Missouri Attorney General Eric Schmidt is suing the Springfield School District over its response to his office's critical race theory request. Schmidt's lawsuit includes 13 allegations in total. One of the allegations is that the school district violated the Sunshine Law by asking for a deposit for items or services before it would make public records available to his office. Schmidt claims that the district has evaded efforts to determine whether or how critical race theory is being taught to its students. But the district says critical race theory isn't taught in its schools and called Schmidt's lawsuit an attack on public education. Critical race theory is a 40-year-old body of knowledge examining the role of American institutions in maintaining racial inequality. House Representative Cori Bush is under fire after claiming white supremacists shot at Ferguson protesters on social media. On Monday, she tweeted, "When we marched in Ferguson, white supremacists would hide behind a hill near where Michael Brown Jr. was murdered and shoot at us. They never faced consequences. If Kyle Rittenhouse gets acquitted, it tells them that even 7 years later, they can still get away with it." The city's police chief says he was unaware of this incident, and multiple people question if it really happened in the replies. The tweet comes as jurors are considering 5 felony charges against Kyle Rittenhouse. He is a teenager who killed 2 people and shot another during unrest in Kenosha, Wisconsin last summer. Bush made her name as an activist leader in Ferguson after the shooting of Michael Brown Jr. A new meat processing plant could come to Warren County. American Food Groups has selected the county for a beef processing plant and intends to invest $450 million in the area once an agreement is reached. It would be built between Wright City and Forrestal if the agreement is finalized. The new plant would create over 1,300 new jobs and could generate $1 billion for Missouri. The company is expected to choose the new location by spring 2022. A massive group of friends and family held a vigil on Tuesday night for 3 teens who died in a crash over the weekend. Nearly 1,200 people gathered at Marquette High School to remember 16-year-old Cole Anello, 15-year-old Reagan Sabin, and 15-year-old Jacob Kiefer. Police say the teens were riding in a Nissan Maxima when it veered off the road, hit a tree, and caught fire around 4 a.m. 2 other teens were in the car at the time of the crash. Those teens were critically injured and are recovering in the hospital. Straight ahead on LUTV News, the U.S. announces a new online attacker. We'll let you know which country is now being monitored after this.
Everyone's on the way. What happened? She's dead? Yes, please get my mom and dad. Oh my God!
Worried about your friend but don't know how to reach out?
You can say how are you or get a fake tattoo. You can ask with an app if it works for you. You can chat with them in VR. It's so good if you think you should check in. Yeah, you should. Whatever gets you talking.
Reach out to a friend about their mental health.
Whatever gets you talking.
Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
It's now the second day of jury deliberations in the trial of Kyle Rittenhouse. This comes after the defense attorneys filed a motion for mistrial with prejudice on Monday. After closing arguments from both sides took place on Monday, the case went into the hands of the jury, who have now been deliberating for over 12 hours. Rittenhouse is on trial for killing 2 people in Kenosha, Wisconsin during Black Lives Matter protests in August of 2020. He claims he defended himself after being attacked first on the night of the shooting. The first human trial on a nasal vaccine to help treat Alzheimer's disease is set to begin this week. Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston announced on Tuesday that they hope the vaccine will prevent and slow the progression of the disease. Researchers say the trial will have 16 participants who are between the ages of 60 and 85 and are showing early signs of Alzheimer's. They say the participants will receive 2 doses of the vaccine, each being 1 week apart. The goal of this trial is to prove that the vaccine is safe and effective, but also to see the immune response in those who have received it. United States sailors will have to choose between getting vaccinated for COVID-19 or face getting discharged. The Navy is giving notice to those who were denied an exemption, a 5-day window to get vaccinated. About 99% of the U.S. Navy are either fully or partially vaccinated. The Navy is still reviewing medical and religious exemption requests from being vaccinated. Those facing a discharge will receive a general discharge. This may affect some VA benefits, including GI Bill benefits. The U.S. government says they identified Iran as the country behind a recent ransomware attack. Authorities say the government-sponsored Iranian hackers are targeting the U.S. transportation and healthcare sectors in the latest attack. Flaws in software made by Microsoft and cybersecurity company Fortinet are being used to access and lock up systems. Private sector researchers say the attacks are trying to disrupt operations and intimidate organizations. The FBI sent out a warning to U.S. companies last week about the Iranian attempts. A Kansas City, Missouri high school is being sued by 4 parents after their children were disciplined for a racist online petition. The petition made a reference to bringing back slavery. A biracial student and 3 others from Park Hill South High School were suspended for 180 days because of the petition. The lawsuit claims that the district violated the students' First Amendment rights, due process, and equal protection rights. The lawyer representing the students says, 14-year-olds sometimes unwisely shoot their mouths off, instantly regretting it, but causing no harm, no disruption. But here was adults who unwisely overreacted, causing disruptions, and they are now trying to strip these boys of their entire ninth grade. The Park Hill School District principal and other people involved in the original investigation are named in the lawsuit. Students and parents from a Chicago area high school are just the latest to join the debate of whether the LGBTQ book called Genderqueer should be in school libraries. The memoir is a coming-of-age book about gender identity, talking about the author's experience. The author says she wrote the book so others coming out wouldn't feel alone. Government and parents officials filed complaints that the book included pornography and sexually explicit content. But students are saying the complaints are attacks on homosexuality and free speech. The Chicago area high school still maintains that the book follows the current book guidelines. The mayor of Cambridge, Maryland, is charged with 50 counts of distributing revenge porn. According to the court records, Mayor Andrew Bradshaw was arrested on Monday and made his first court appearance. The state's prosecutor's complaint says the victim contacted law enforcement about the incident back in May. The victim says she saw nude photographs of herself on Reddit that she says were posted without her consent. The victim states she sent the photos to Bradshaw when they were in an intimate relationship. If convicted, Bradshaw faces up to 2 years in jail and up to $5,000 in fines for each charge.
Coming up on LUTV weather, you might want to stand under that umbrella Wednesday. And no, I'm not talking about that Rihanna song. Find out more when we come back.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
There was a time in my life where I was extremely homesick. I decided that I needed a pet. When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. He jumped up and kissed me and jumped right into my arms. I immediately went up to the volunteers at the shelter and said, I want him, he's gotta come home with me. Not anything but lonely. Every day with Turtle is a perfect day and keeps me company when I'm doing schoolwork. I like it when he jumps up on the table too. He is a veggie thief. He's an incredible companion and my best friend. Can't say that I've met anybody that doesn't love him too. When I adopted Turtle, I discovered all the things that make him unique. He's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly he's all pure love.
You're home before sunrise. On top of the house, the kids, and our future. The smell of your cooking is our life. My Shiro's day is never done. So let's start saving a little more now so we can feel prepared for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give us the personalized tips we need so we can live our lives to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome back. Looking at Wednesday's current conditions. The West Coast will be looking at low and high temperatures with wind moving south, heading up, leading towards the Midwest. Over on the upper East Coast, we'll get some wind coming down from the north. The Midwest will be facing some patches of scattered rain in some states. Taking a look at the local area, St. Charles is looking at a cloudy 70 degrees. Maryland Heights is looking at 68. While the wonderful, enchanting city of St. Louis is identical as well at 68, jumping over the river, both O'Fallon and St. Peter's are the same at a cloudy 70 degrees apiece. Let's look at the next couple of days heading into the weekend. Wednesday's highest will be 70 degrees with 60% of rain pouring into the evening. Wednesday night's low will drop down into the high 30s. Thursday will be sunny, but much colder with temperatures going into the high 40s. Later into the evening, the temperature will drop even more into the high 20s. To end the work week, Friday will be also sunny with temperatures being in the high 40s. That evening, the low will be in the high 30s. Onto the weekend, Saturday is going to be looking partly sunny at 57 degrees. Saturday night will drop to the low 40s. Finally, Sunday will get mostly cloudy in the high 50s with a 30% chance of rain. Moving into the evening will be partly cloudy with temperatures being 32 degrees. This upcoming weekend will be a perfect time to relax and stay warm. For LUTV Weather, I'm Andrew Cameron.
A significant storm may make holiday travel a headache next week. The National Weather Service Prediction Center is tracking a system that could produce a major storm on Sunday. The storm could build in the Midwest, grow stronger each day, and hit the East Coast by Tuesday. Rain, snow, ice, and fog could cause major disruption to the busiest travel week of the year. The National Weather Service has low confidence in the current forecast, but tells travelers to keep track as their travel times approach. The longest partial lunar eclipse in almost 600 years is going to be visible in your backyard. NASA says that around 11 Thursday night, the eclipse will start and last for nearly 3.5 hours. 98% of the sun's light will be blocked by the Earth, resulting in a reddish tone on the moon. Unlike the solar eclipse in 2017, you won't need any fancy glasses to view this eclipse, just something to bundle up in. This is the last lunar eclipse of this year, but NASA says there will be 2 total lunar eclipses in 2020 in May and November.
Scott Perunovich made his debut with the Blues, but it wasn't how he expected it to go. Found out what happened when we come back.
As a dad, every day is a challenge. To make sure that the time that I have, I spend with them. It doesn't matter how tired you are, you have to try and to teach them. When they learn something new, and you can just see in their faces, it's such an incredible moment. It's those moments that are my favorite.
During high school, I hung with the wrong crowd and I never graduated.
I helped Santiago in many different ways, like all fathers do, because he always wanted to go to college.
I felt a little embarrassed to come back to school, but eventually once I came here, I knew that it's for a bigger goal.
He was very dedicated, hardworking. He connected with his teachers, he connected with other students. That was one of the key reasons why he was able to keep forging ahead.
It was amazing to see him graduate. This was one thing that meant so much to him, and of course, it meant so much to us too.
With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed. That support is everything.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking, now start screening. No matter how much you've smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Scott Perunovich made his NHL debut, but it was not how he expected it to go. The Blues lost to the last place Arizona Coyotes 3-2. Kyle Capobianco for the Yotes scored his first goal of the season that contributed to the win. Blues' Ryan O'Reilly recorded his 400th career assist after a cross-ice pass to forward Jordan Kyrou. Although goalie Jordan Bennington made 20 saves for the Blues, it was not enough. The Blues are now on a 4-game losing streak. Cardinals former manager Mike Shildt commented on his dismissal from the team on Tuesday. Shildt says that his dismissal hit him right between the eyes. He says, quote, "There's some pain I've got to work through, and I am doing that. I am a spiritual guy, faith-based. God didn't want me to be there anymore, and he's going to put me in a place where he wants me, and I trust that." The New York Mets and the Oakland A's are the only current major league teams with openings. Shildt took the Cards to the playoffs each of his 3 career seasons. The settlement of the federal lawsuit allows a Major League Baseball team to change their name. Cleveland's MLB team and a local roller derby team announced Tuesday that they will share the name. Both teams will be called the Guardians. The roller derby team sued the baseball team last month, accusing them of infringing on its trademark rights. They say they have used the Guardians name since 2013. They also say that having a baseball team with the same name will cause confusion. The Lindenwood women's basketball team will play their first home game Wednesday night at 5:30. The Lions opened the season with the back-to-back Ohio road trip against Ashland University and Malone University. They dropped both games by scores of 88-53 and 88-69. They're looking for their first win against Emporia State, who is 2-0 so far. That's all for sports. For LUTV News, I'm Josh Robinson.
Sports fans across the country are in shock after it was announced that Staples Center in Los Angeles is getting a new name. According to a press release, the iconic arena will be renamed Crypto.com Arena starting on Christmas this year. Crypto.com purchased the rights for $700 million over 20 years. This is the largest naming rights deal in history. Staples Center is known as the home of Los Angeles-based sports teams Lakers, Clippers, Sparks, and Kings. Fans across the country have not taken the news well so far. We'll see how fans accept the new name over the coming years. The Blue Angels will be flying overhead on Wednesday to promote the upcoming show this summer. Event organizers say they'll paint the sky during St. Louis County Executive Sam Page's briefing. They say it's been 2 years since they last flew during the Spirit of St. Louis Air Show and STEM Expo. Those in attendance will see the U.S. Navy Blue Angel F-18 Super Hornet will be flown. Limited early release tickets go on sale November 17th for the air show, scheduled online. Anheuser-Busch is bringing back an original this holiday season. AB will brew St. Louis Lager for the first time in 115 years this week. The award-winning lager is the flagship beer of AB from back in 1850. AB will be donating $2 from each lager sold, plus $25,000 to United Way's 100 Neediest Cases. The beer will be available in December at the AB St. Louis Beer Garden for a limited time. That's it for this edition of LUTV News. I'm Christopher Rogers. Thanks for joining us.